Hello, everyone, and welcome on our second webinar, which is going to be about call data records in the action. I'm very glad that I can see that there is plenty of you, and let's begin. My name is Dominik Regner, and I am a sales manager responsible for the Europe.
Hello, everybody. My name is Martin Kovar, and I'm product manager in Cognivar.
Great. Let's take a look at agenda of this meeting. We will start with the introduction of our company, which will be followed with the reason why we are here today, which is call data records and its demonstration. This is going to be followed by a Q&A section and then the conclusion in the end. For the beginning, it's good to say a couple of things about the organization of this webinar. So please feel free to ask the questions during the webinar in the chat. The chat is private, so nobody is going to see the questions, just our team. And we will be replying to your question directly in the chat. And in the end, the most interesting question from the Q&A chat will be picked by our team, and we will answer those directly in the video. After the webinar, all of you will receive the recording, so you can share it and take a look again together with the timeline of the webinar, so you can easily take a look. And the last question, nobody except from the organizers, which are us, will not have any access to the list of the participants. So everything is going to be anonymized. So this is about the security and questions. And I guess that we can start with the first point, which is the introduction of Cognivar company. Cognivar company is a Czech company founded in 2014 in the heart of Europe in Czech Republic, and to be basically try to change the way how to solve the crime and help the good guys with the overwhelming amount of data which they are now facing. We have our standard solution, which is like a very simple, easy to use, and fast to install and apply the benefits solutions. One of them is CDR solution, which is going to be presented today. Aside of that, we also have our cognitive services APIs about the face recognition, voice recognition, signature recognition, and so on. And all of this is built based on our know-how and internal resources, which we call professional services, which means that we are able to do also enterprise projects based on the customer needs. So that's about it from the introduction of Cognivar company. And now take a look at our main topic today, which is going to be presented by our product manager, Martin. Can you tell us more about our topic today, Martin?
Sure, Dominic. So we are here today to discuss call data records analytics. That effectively means analysis of communicational data related to our mobile phones. So as you know, law enforcement agencies, intelligence organizations, and other types of security departments working under government really rely on those data for solving some heavy crimes. Now, usually it's very time-consuming task in general that requires some technical skills, and there is not enough prepared analytics to perform the task very quickly. So this is exactly why we are here today, to show you already prepared CDR analytics solution built on our product called Argos. And that allows you to reveal communication patterns, relationship between people, seeing the history of the locations very easily, all based on the phone activity in very user-friendly environment. It's very important to say that our solution is targeted for non-technical users, and it's really easy to use. So you have access to all the information without any heavy expertise or skills in coding or database querying. Also, the analysis of cold data records is kind of frequent task, and we are able to automate repeating things, so to reuse the functionality over and over very quickly. And of course, we are providing all the analytics that is essential to understand the behavior of the subscriber or the person of interest from the perspective of time and all the activities that he's doing over time, from the perspective of his network. So all people, all devices, all SIM cards that are related to him and how they form some larger networks together. And also from the perspective of geolocation or movement in general to visualize his locations on a map. So without further ado, let's see how it works in action. And I will start by showing you the system and the most common scenario, which is you request some information from your mobile network operator. So I will start right now to showing you how it actually starts from the beginning. Usually, the authorized personnel from the law enforcement will request data from mobile network operator. Such data will usually be in the CSV format, Excel sheets, XML file, or similar structure. Now, because these formats are usually same over time from one mobile operator, and it differs only in the data content, we have means how to reuse those predefined transformers and use them every time new data want to be imported into the system. So in here, I will now try to import CDR data related to one subscriber. So I have some prepared templates for my import, and I will select the one that is specifically designed for CDR data about subscriber. I will select the file that I've received from the mobile network operator, and what I will do, I will parse the content, so you can see that the system understands what is there inside the data. And I can either parse some preview of a few lines, or I can parse the whole content. In this case, there are 1,000 lines related to data about subscriber A and subscriber B and the event happening between them. So it is about SMS messages or phone calls. As you can see, there are some information related to both of the parties, like SIM card information or device information and the location associated with them. So from one line, we can actually generate quite a lot of information. And this is exactly what we are doing in processing of this data. So each line will be represented in our system as a set of entities which are linked together. In here, you can see a simple shape that is generated from each row. In here, you can see that we have information about person that is linked to a SIM card. Now, this SIM card is linked to some device in which it has been used, and the location where the SIM card was occurring. Usually, those locations are represented as cell towers. Now, this SIM card is communicating with another SIM card, and the communication might be either phone call or SMS. And the other SIM card has the same information. So another person, another subscriber linked to it, another device, and all the locations related to it. So all is coming from each individual line of the input data. Now it differs operator from operator, country from country. Sometimes it may happen that you have information only about the party A or the initiating. You don't have much more information other than for the C, but sometimes it happens that you have all the information at once. So what I will do, I will reuse all the mapping that I have already prepared for this purpose. And when I click Transform Graph Data, you can see that all the information in the textual format will be represented as interconnected graph. So in this case, So in this case, it will be all centered around this one SIM card, because this is the phone number of the subscriber, and this is the subscriber I've been requesting information about. And these are the counterparties and all the associated information like devices and locations. Now, as you can see, this is really hard to analyze from this view, but now since we imported the data into the system, we can make use of any existing functionalities. And for example, we can start going into the detail of the subscriber itself. Now, we have chosen the identifier during the import, and that effectively means that if this person identified with, for example, subscriber ID has been matched with any existing object in our already prepared database, will be merged, and I will see all the information connected with each other. So let's try that. Let me search for Martin. And you can see I have already this person in the database because it has some assigned picture with biometrics. I have some other descriptive information about him. So I have nationality, I have citizenship, I have gender, some nickname, and things like that. I can already see that this person or this subscriber has been imported multiple times from different investigations. So he's been part of different investigation cases already. Now, first information that I want to find out about this person is what are the other objects connected to this person. First, what you can see is that I can see 2 SIM cards directly linked to this guy. Also, I have information about, for example, directly linked people for him, because based on past investigations. But I can see also other useful information related to call data records. So for example, all devices I've been using in general with all his SIM cards. So I have 2 SIM cards, and I have also 2 devices in which the SIM cards were plugged into. I can also see information about fake subscribing identities. So that means that these are people that have been using the same device as I've been. So it's very interesting information that this is indication that these people might be a fake identities because they have been using the same mobile phone. There is also information about the close contacts. So I have these 4 people, and I have some additional information about them. So for example, I can see investigation cases related to them. I can also see all mobile devices related to those people. Now, I can either visualize this information in this list view, or I can switch to network chart view, which gives you more, let's say, visual understanding. I'm in the center point of view, so this is my target, this is Martin, and I can see that these are the 2 SIM cards related to him. Now, you can, from the first point of view, without any going into any detail, you can spot that the device used within his SIM cards is having also multiple SIM cards used. So this is exactly what I've been talking about. These might be potentially fake identities or people that have been using the same mobile phone. Okay, it's very suspicious behavior. And this happens actually twice for all of my SIM cards. Second finding is that these are the related people, and I can also see information about their SIM cards and devices and links to the investigation cases. So this gives me at least some sort of first view on the surroundings of the information related to Martin. Of course, the system supports interactive exploration. So I can go further and further, and I can see more information about each of those entities, and I can, for example, expand all other related information. So for example, the point of sale where this SIM card has been purchased, if this information is available from the data. I can have much more information about the people, so I can see all the watch lists, all the other structured data that I have already in my system. Second, let's say analytical task that I have is the historical view of all the activities happening in relation to Martin. So I will click Activities. And in this specific screen, I can see all SIM cards I've been interacting with over time. So you can see this is complete timeline of my phone activity. I can see the list of unique counterparties with their interaction counts. In the middle section, I have all the events sorted by time, line by line, with the ability to dig deeper. So, for example, if it's SMS content, I can see more details about it. And on the right section, there's something that we call time of the day pattern or pattern of life. And this is statistics about repeating actions or behavior. So you can say, for example, that on Tuesday afternoons, I'm quite active compared to other parts of different days of a week. So I can either focus on that specific area. You can see it's not that specific one day. It spans over, for example, the whole year. But this activity in that day of an hour of a day, we're repeating, and these are the details. And these are the counterparties that were participating in such behavior. Of course, I can focus only on specific counterparties. So let's say I have 155 counterparties in my data right now, but with this specific phone number or SIM card, I have only 11 interactions. When I click this 11 interactions, it will be drilled down. So in the option, there are only the 11 events, and this is the time pattern of the behavior between Martin and this phone number. So this is statistics and looking at activities from the time perspective. Now, another, let's say, view is related to maps. So we know that SIM card, from the CDR data, we have connection between location, represented by cell tower, and the SIM card owned by this subscriber. So I may have option to visualize these information for both of these SIM cards. Each SIM card has 14 locations here, but I have also other information about the subscriber itself. So in real life, it might be a permanent address or temporary addresses or other useful locations for that person. When I click to represent those addresses, I may choose to mute the map so it's more visible. You can immediately see that these locations are related to Slovakia. Okay, so if you zoom in, you have more information about the specific whereabouts. Now, if I add also the information about both of these SIM cards, so location of that SIM cards, and I will zoom out, you can immediately see that these are in completely different area of the world. These are somewhere in Egypt. So even though this is a Czech number, it should be located in Middle Europe. It's suddenly appearing in Egypt. So we know that it hasn't been used in Czech Republic or Slovakia. It has been used only in Egypt. Of course, when I zoom in, I may let's say find out more information about the link. So very good finding if you want to understand where this person has appearing in which locations. Now, another type of investigation that might be interesting is to find out if two people are somehow related with each other. Now, for this purpose, we have a screen called Connections, where you may enter two either phone numbers, SIM cards, devices, or people names, and the system will find all the paths that are connecting them. So in this case, I will start with Dominic here and myself, and I will let the system to guess how we are interacting together. So you can say there is no direct interactions. We are not making any calls between each other. Okay, but the system pinpoints me the fact that the shortest path, the shortest way how we are connected, is via the situation where Dominic has a SIM card, as a known SIM card, and his SIM card was plugged into a phone device, where another SIM card which interacted with my SIM card was plugged in. So it's kind of non-trivial relationship, because Dominic would try to be careful in using his SIM cards, but he was not careful in changing his in changing his phone. So the system quite easily found that out. Now we can also visualize this information in more detail, and because this is predefined behavior, we have a specific pattern for this. So it's remote subscribers sharing the same device. So we know that this is the remote subscriber. It's the SIM card that has been actually used in communication with Martin that has been participating in the same device. It will be much easier to understand when I switch to graph view. So in here, you can immediately see it, that Dominic used these two SIM cards to interact with Martin's two SIM cards. So you can spot the communication pattern quite easily now. So all of these information may be added into interactive canvas, which we call boards, and this place is created for the visual representation of all the findings from your data. So I have added the result of finding connection between me and Dominic, and I may add additional information, additional formatting to it. So for example, I can highlight the targets defined by certain conditions. I can choose, let's say, timeline filters to drill down only to specific activities. Now, I may also change the formatting of the CDR events. So sometimes when there are many interactions between two SIM cards, I want to visualize them as numbered links, or let's say, interactions will be represented as labels for that edges. So this is how you visualize the result, and of course you may have you may save those findings into the server, so any other person from your team can access this visualization and they can inspect, they can enhance it and save it again. Now, you may also open any existing visualization of your colleagues and have full overview of all the information related to your investigation case. Now, very important information is also about the security. So you have seen me importing data from CSV file or Excel sheets or any type of structured data. And by default, the security is set that only the person importing those data can see all the data, and all other people effectively do not know about these data. But this may be easily changed to the departmental security or security based on some classification level of the users, or it may be ad hoc, defining only for members of the specific investigation case, let's say. So security is always on the first place for us. We know that these are highly sensitive data, and we have means how to protect them, even in the departments of such organizations. Now, this is type of visualization that can be, let's say, produced. Let me show you also another use case related to the fact that I don't know exactly the subscriber or the phone number I'm looking for, but I know that I need to search a certain area, certain place on the map, and see who were occurring in that place. Now, for this specific reason, we have a functionality called maps, and you have basically two options how to search for a specific area. Either you type an address into an address field, and the system will suggest you the nearby locations in that area, or you can specify the area by drawing a specific polygon. Now, if you saw the previous example, you saw some SIM card related to Cairo. So let me go to that region and let me start a polygon search. Let me draw a small shape, and I want to see all phone numbers or all SIM cards occurring in that area in a specific date and time range. So I may zoom in a bit, and you can see that there are 148 events happening. That means phone calls or SMS in that specific time range and in that area. And it is related to 102 SIM cards or phone numbers. Now, some of the phone numbers might be there multiple times, for example, like this one, that is associated with 4 places or 4 events in that places. Some of them might be there just once. Now, this is very useful to identify the targets of interest, and you may continue the investigation from the perspective of specific subject as shown before. So you may focus on all the network and all the other related objects to that target, on the activity history, and all the complete location movement of that SIM card. Now, putting together, this gives you quite a complete view on all information related to the call data records analysis or call data records data. So in general, this gives you quite comprehensive view on all the data from mobile network operators that we are without any technical knowledge and pure this user interface. So putting all these features together, this gives you quite comprehensive view on all the data coming from mobile network operators. And you don't need, as you can see, you don't need any technical knowledge to understand these data and to work and interact with those data and find some insights about those data. And it's quite easy to use, and it's shareable across all the colleagues from your department. So this leads us back to the benefits of our solution for your organizations or your customers. So I will give word back to Dominic, and he can summarize it for you.
Thank you very much, Martin. So let's take a look at the business value of this system. Thank you for the presentation. And now we are going to go through these business values. So out of our experience from the previous implementations of this system, we can state that the time to find the answers in the CDR data can be decreased up to 40% because of the multifunctionality of the system, and you are able to visualize all the connections as Martin showed. This is also coupled with the improved case resolution, and from our experience, it can be about 25% increase in the resolution, which can be quite good. As you can see as well, we are also able to provide a solution to the non-tech users. Currently, it's quite difficult to take a look into CDR data because they can be a quite mess. But with our solution, basically everybody who gets the access and a little bit of the training, which is also one of the questions which we are going to answer in the second. These guys with a little bit of the training are able to also use the system and get to the outputs which can be used for decision making or all the other stuff. So this is about the business value, and now we can move further to the Q&A section. Thank you all for sending very interesting questions, and now we will be able to take a look for the couple of them, and let's just start. The first one is actually very good, and thank you for that. That's like the overall question, and can you, Martin, somehow summarize how Argos differentiates from the other link analysis software solution currently available on the market?
Sure. I think one of the most important aspects is that the web interface or the interface of our application is web-based. It is really easy to use. You don't need any extensive trainings, and it's really targeted specifically for CDR investigations. Not that the system would be focusing only on CDR investigations. It could go into other domains quite easily. But the analytical tasks, as I've shown today, so focusing on all the timeline and time history of all the CDR events, going into location history and spotting the counterparties of that subscriber or SIM card, and finding the, let's say, patterns of behavior. So using different SIM cards in different devices, turning off devices and on devices, and spotting the time differences. This is something that can be achieved very quickly and very easily in our system. So I think that's one aspect. Second aspect is, of course, that the system is very customizable. And it's not customizable only from the perspective of color schema or language or let's say functionality point of view, but it can be customized with custom features. So you can add specifically designed functionality for you. You can allow different set of functionalities for different departments. So it gives you quite a lot of options to expand in the future. And we are here for our customers to achieve that. So they don't need to reinvent the wheel and develop everything from scratch. They can use our system as a base platform, start with CDR, and it can be expanded either with other existing functionality from our portfolio, or they can their own. And third, our solution can be existing environments, because we are providing APIs for every functionality that is there. Okay, so everything I've been showing you is not limited only to user interface, but it can be achieved via calling APIs. So it might be integrated into the existing portals of the clients. I hope that satisfies the answer.
I hope so as well. So let's take a look at the following question, I would say, which is a little bit connected with this one. Can you just state up about the data privacy and the security itself, especially, everything here is connected with the sensitive investigative information. So the question is basically about on-premise or a cloud solution. So if you can answer this.
Right. So security is quite a heavy topic for us. I didn't get that second part, but in general, our solution can run completely on-premise without any connection to the internet. So this is one aspect. We are dealing with law enforcement agencies, with intelligence organizations, which have separated infrastructures to have that. So we don't require any access to the internet. That's the first thing. Second thing is the data privacy and the data security itself. First of all, we are applying security policies to access those data, so only people authorized to see specific data subset can see them. We have different levels of permission, so we have read-only mode, we have something that we call anonymized mode, so you can see only that the object is existing in the database, but you don't see any more details, and you need to ask for permission to access this object. And of course, we have like zero permission access, so majority of the information is hidden for the non-authorized people. And second aspect of the security, of the data security, is that we can encrypt data at rest. So that means that nobody, not even the administrator, can access those data directly in the database engine, because they are encrypted there, and basically nobody can see this information without the proper permission.
Right. Let's take a look at the two more questions. The first one is about the training. What sort of training or onboarding process does Cogniware provide to ensure our customers' teams can utilize the tool effectively and with all the functionalities?
Sure. So the trainings are most of the time part of the actual project delivery. So you will receive two types of training. One is specifically focused on the end users. But as I said, this training is not as heavy as our competitors, for example, because the tool itself is aiming to be user-friendly. So it's more about giving you some best practices and giving you ideas about the use case, and how to put everything together. And this can span, but usually it is like 3 days, 4 days for the end users maximum, depending on the type of use cases we are talking about. Second type of training is the enablement for the administrators and potentially developers that can reuse our product as a basis platform for further expansion. So we have some trainings programs. We have qualified trainers for our product, and mostly this is part of the project delivery.
Okay, which means that this is going to be also in person and not something like an online session.
Definitely. For the offline trainings, as you would say, we have a set of video courses that can be used, but we prefer definitely having in-person training and hands-on lab where the end users will try to work with the system, and we will guide them and we will give them our know-how and best practice.
Great, great. And the last question, what kind of a customer support does Cognivare offer?
So for the customer support, I think this is one of the benefits that we are trying to focus on customers, and our customers are the priority for us. So not only that we have some portal where customers have the ability to ask for feature requests or report some bugs or some information that, or find out some information that are, let's say, needed for them, but we are establishing closer contact with them. So we have regular feedback sessions with our clients where me personally, I'm conducting some feedback review where I collect their ideas, their let's say experience working with the system. I write it down, I prioritize it in our product backlog, and I put it as part of next feature releases, which are targeted to be 1 per quarter. So 4 releases per year, and I try to squeeze in those requests from our clients.
Great, thank you very much for all the answers. This is like actually a good point that we are releasing the new versions of the software quite often, and every customer has access to this directly after the release. Everything is tied together also with the presentation of new features. So that's about the conclusion, and I think that we are out of the time, which means that now it's time to thank you all that you were there today with us. And if you have any questions, further questions, feel free to send us an email. We will be replying you as soon as possible. And all of you are going to receive also a recording of this webinar, so you can share this with your colleagues or take a look again. So you may find some interesting points over there which you will want to see again, which will be definitely an option. And from my point of view, it's everything. So if Martin, you want to say a couple of last words, you are very welcome.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to thank all of you, and also I'm available to offline for any questions. So if you are interested in our products, please share your feedback with us, share your interest, and we will be more than happy to get back to you.
Great. Thank you very much. See you soon on the next webinar, which we are planning, and have a good day.
Have a nice day. Take care.